So, in order for me to go live, I have to have 50 subscribers. I never thought about it like that. I thought it was like Instagram. But fuck that, I'm telling my story. If they want to subscribe, they ain't got to subscribe. But I guess I'll tell you while I clean up today. So yeah, so that was I figured out the time frame. I went into the system when I was 7, but I remember getting transferred back to the family when I was maybe 15. I was pissed off because I remember my first 2 foster families. But before then, let me see. And where was I at? Staying with Auntie Janet. So I stayed with these people. Hey, I'm not mad. They never want to talk to me again. They'd be to completely disown me, but it doesn't bother me. I'm currently living in a shelter, which I have for the last 5 years. Finally found a little good one since a couple of new things has been happening. But I'm hoping that you guys can hear me quite well. I'm trying to figure out where part of the story did I leave off at. I need you guys to subscribe, okay? I get 50 subscribers, I could go live, and I ain't gotta. Sorry about that shit. And I don't have to go back and forth with my videos and things. I could just do the whole live, and we could talk about it all then, and then continue, because how I gotta get all into the witchcraft, I gotta get all into the mimicking me and shit like that, and the blessings from my father too. I don't know. Anyway, I got to get into that. But anyway, I think I probably should have waited because I'm going to clean up and talk. But, yeah. So, Auntie Janice, okay, I got beat there. But I told you, it was a wonderful living. She had structure. She had our outfits. We had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday outfits, things like that. Play clothes, play shoes. And, stuff we wasn't supposed to do. Plus, her mama lived in the back. We always had to go to church. Love Grams, ain't got nothing bad to say about Grams. Except for she was the start of it. Auntie Jack, so after I went down there through the whole family. So the whole family finna be upset. Darn there. Let's see. Okay, now I done went back. I told y'all about Auntie Deborah. Auntie Deborah used to whip me. I used to have to have my arms out like this. I used to be in the shower. She used to whip me, whack me. Used to have 100 belts, or whatever it was that she desired. Till finally, I ended up getting took from there. Boy, that was the best day of my life. And I know that I was still young, so most of the stuff happened when I was young. Because if I didn't go into my first foster home till I only remember I stayed there 1 year. I turned 11 and then I turned 12 and I was at Sean House and then I went to Hawthorne. That's when I went to Lusinger. But before that, and then so then that's when I went to Lusinger. I had to still be not even in high school yet when Dante was touching us. I'm going to speak for me when he was touching me, because other than that, I don't know about what type of deals niggas had with people, but when he was fucking with me, I had to be, and not even in high school then. But then after that, I don't know how to put it. I know the family about to be so upset. I've been thinking about it just because I've been busting names, dropping names, but they can act like that ain't their name, like they not the only nigga named that or whatever. But, if the shoe fit, wear it. I've been going to therapy a lot about it, so I shouldn't have to keep it. I need to express it so I could be free. You know what I mean? The truth needs to be told, since people got so much to say about me around so many tables, and ain't nobody helping me or ringing a bell for me, so fuck them. But anyhow, let me start off my thing by saying, praises be to the one true supreme creator of all creation and everything in its likeness, who actually gave me the will to do so, because Lord know I wouldn't have never started. And so, okay, I said something about Auntie Jones. That was whatever. I remember after I ended up showing my titties to the boys, I ended up kind of messing up. She wanted to be a teacher, and because I ended up getting pulled from her house from CPS, she was unable to. I guess she always blamed me for not being able to teach. Now, I could see her concern. I ain't upset about it. But mind you, I'm still young. So all this, I'm still a sponge at this time. You know what I'm saying? So all that watching man around Sierra, watching kids, it just never really made sense. Um, I ain't gonna stop, but my whole time I've been in that family, I was always feeling like I was displaced. Like I was in a place that I wasn't even supposed to be at. Um, so then that's when the beating stopped on Auntie Janice because I ended up getting took and going to Auntie Deborah's. Auntie Deborah took me in. That was when we was on Glenway. She was abusive as hell. I told you about the beating where she pushed my eye in, took me out of town to her. She had $1 million. I guess she ended up taking care. They used to go to a village. It takes a village to raise a child. But I'm trying to figure out where was my raising? Where the hell is a village for me? Anywho, I'm gonna have to blot it in, and I'm gonna have to I need to just get out the story because I'm gonna have to post these on my page. And so after that, I told y'all how she used to beat me, how right up under her nose Dante used to touch us. She used to make us stand in the corner, with our arms up for hours in the hallway. And it's like we in the hallway this way, her door is this way. So you could look in her door going this way, but I'm standing against the wall, the little wall frame right there. And as Dante walked up to her door, he like this. He walked up to her door, like you can see, he touching me on the side while I'm in the corner and shit. So he used to get a nigga out the corner. Dang, I almost fell. He used to get a nigga out the corner. But of course he did. He had hella kids, so it was like, watch the kids, and da-da-da-da. He always used to pay my granny to watch his kids. And so time ended up passing by. I ended up getting sick that one day. I told y'all, Auntie Jenna came to pick me up from school. And when she came to pick me up from school, it was a big drag out. They sorted out, I turned them against each other because I was truly sick. You know what I'm saying? And Auntie Deborah thought I was lying. She just pushed the nigga to the limit. That's why we don't believe in retardedness. We don't believe in autism. You heard what I'm saying? Either you're special or you're special. And so after that, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how does CPS swoop in and come and take me. I don't know if I would end up telling my friend at school, like my granny beating the hell out of my ass. I told my cousins. I was telling my cousins. Nobody even knows how CPS came and took a nigga, but I done told a nigga at school to call the people so I get the hell up out of there. I done told the motherfucking all my cousins knew that I was getting my ass beat, And so, watch out, buddy. I'm not quite sure what type of avenues they took to help a nigga get out of that, but I know I have my cousin Marquia. My cousin Marquia, she ended up helping the nigga out. I don't know. Her mama, they ended up really not liking the fact that I was getting beat, and drop it, Osas. Drop it. Thank you, buddy. They didn't like the fact that I was getting beat, so when I went over their house, it was kind of like a break type stuff. I would try to hide back in and tell y'all about things that I remember in between. I do remember leaving when I left her house. I ended up going to a foster home, and I'm in Lusinger in the lowest grade that they started at. So I went to the foster home, whatever. The foster home was cool. You know what I'm saying? I never had no problems. Foster mom used to sell sex toys and shit. She had a whole room full of sex toys. She had another girl. Her name was Jasmine or something. And it's amazing because I went to a couple houses with her sister. You know what I'm saying? And so it was another girl named Jasmine. She used to live there. She was a good girl. You know what I'm saying? Seemed like she was a straight A kid. You know what I'm saying? Walk home after school. Latchkey kid. Things like that. I was too. But I had cousins. My cousin had made me a Facebook. I was Fat CC, whoop-de whoop. No, it was MySpace, shit like that. And she was so upset. That I had a MySpace that she get on the computer. I guess it was set to whatever you can do, and I'm throwing up gang signs, whatever, whoop-de whoop. And she's just like, you gotta go. You cannot pollute Jasmine because she's on the right path, whatever the case may be. But her punishments was rancid. You know what I'm saying? She had like military punishments. But after that, whatever. Okay, whatever. I ended up leaving. That's the first time I ever went to Benihana's. I got a Walkman for my birthday that day. I turned 13. I ended up leaving that house, but not before, I stayed in there a couple weeks because I think you get a 7-day notice. 7 days, so that way they can report to the CPS and they got 7 days to come and find you a different place. Now, yeah, they had all kind of little sex toys and stuff. I remember sneaking into her room and taking hers and just using it on the floor in our room. Hopefully they didn't have no hidden camera. Mind you, I'm young though. I don't even know how I know about this because my granny had one when I was 7, and I went in her room and stole it and was just playing with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I was watching all that soft porn. Never really knew. That's probably why I never could come, because ever since I was a kid, I've been pissing on myself. And so then after that, let me check it out. After that, I ended up leaving there, going to Auntie Sasha's house. Now, I went from Lusinger to Lancaster. Now, Lancaster, I was still, I don't know, damn, did I ever graduate, or did niggas just put me in the grades that I was supposed to be put in? I went to Lancaster High and Cortez High. None of my foster homes did I ever get touched in, For some reason, they was top tier on taking care of the kids. I remember my Sasha, that was the best foster home ever, At least I thought they cared about a nigga. They made a nigga feel like they cared. She had a whole house full of girls, and like her mama or something had a whole house full of boys. So it's like we'd be together type stuff, go to the, to the pools and things like that. It was different type of ways. She had her own children too. It's all about the people that you see that curve you into the person who you is today, and the people that you like type shit. Her baby daddy looked exactly like Boosie. I promise you. That nigga looked just like Boosie. I always liked to go see your baby daddy shit. It made you feel like he was with a celebrity. He always cashed out on his kids, I guess. But anyhow, nothing like that though. So get the negative shit out your mind, because it wasn't nothing like that cracking. But it was just like, dang, it's just amazing how he really looked like Boosie. Could have been this fucking twin or some shit. So let me see. After that, I don't know what it was. Auntie Sasha was trying to get me to be her permanent little child. You know what I'm saying? To have permanency with me. And my family fighting though. My family fighting for me. Mind you, I'd have been touched, tortured, beat, abused, clean. But however it may have been, I think that it was, they wanted to keep the kids all together type shit. Keep it all in the family, Yeah, I don't know. Could be in a check, Well, who could get a check for CC? Whatever. Ain't no telling how that'd be. But, I might move the camera. You might just see the ceiling for a minute, so that way I can continue to clean up. And so Auntie Sharon and them, they fighting for me. Why they fighting for me, I don't know. I'm at the happiest place ever. I'm going to Cortez High. I got kids. I'm trying to find a purpose in my life. And let me see. They just took it all from me. So Auntie Sharon ended up getting a nigga. Her credentials was fine enough to pass CPS test, and she ended up getting a nigga. Then I started going to Sunnymead. But it's funny because I remember going to Sunnymead Elementary. I don't know if she let them hold me back or something, and then going to Sunnymead High School in Moreno Valley. I remember that. I don't know. I went to both of them. So I guess I could have the timeline messed up to where when Donna was touching me, that's when I was going to Sunnymead Elementary. That's when or she touched me, because I told you I only remember one time, but I can't pin in the timeline why I end up going to high school. How I was at high school there anyway. It all come together. But shoot, give me a second. What the hell? You could tell they really upset. I mean, no matter what it is, they're going to be all in your collective trying to collect out what you got to say, but let my truth prevail. You can't hide from the truth. I ended up leaving Auntie Sasha's house, going to Auntie Sharon's house. Mind you, Auntie Sharon is Dante's mother. You know what I'm saying? Rest her soul. Hopefully they ain't got nothing to say about me saying her sister's name and they didn't pass, whatever. But Auntie Sharon is Dante's mother. So we ended up moving to Merino Valley, you know, Sunny me, how the case may be. Or maybe I was out there before I went to high school. No, because I went to Lancaster High and motherfucking Cortez High. That's impossible. So she must have held me back there. When I ain't passed my SATs or something like that. You know, why I had to go to middle school and then had to go back to high school. Never remember graduating. I remember going to all these motherfucking schools though. But you know, she was one of them kind of moms that fought for education. No matter what you're doing in your life, your schooling better be right. Donna was always smart. She was more of the smart being, you know. So as what I was about to say. So yeah, we there, whatever the case may be. Donna, I just remember that was a horrific time in my life. Auntie Sharon was not the best type of individual. She was actually strict and she whipped us with switches. Fucked up part, we had to go pick our own switches, you know what I'm saying? Can't even remember the reasons we had to get up and clean the garage. She sold like baskets and stuff like that. So she was like a hoarder, like truly a hoarder at heart. Don't get me wrong though, you know what I'm saying? That's my auntie. I'm talking shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the only one that ever did look out when I did have to leave. She the only one that did, you know. Sissy, come get this money, you know, you all right? Probably looked out for me and my mammy. And so she as I'm at Auntie Sharon's house, what is it? What is it? I guess I need to, I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna pause it and I'm gonna come back because my mind is kind of creepy.